Good morning. I thought I would make a video about what I do in the morning. I have a few best practices that I do when I wake up, and it helps me be centered in the day. If I do this, I won't go and just cruise social media for the whole day. I still do a little bit of that, but it cuts down on it significantly less. Or cuts more down on it, so I do it less. But so the first thing I do is I wake up, and obviously it's hard to get out of bed because I love my husband and I want to stay there with him. But I do my best to get out of bed, and I come to my table where I'm sitting right now. It's a mess, so I'm not going to show it to you quite yet. But at my table, I have a big long table that's for art stuff, and then I have a shorter table that's for my spooky stuff. And I wake up in the morning, and I reach over and I draw a tarot card from from the deck that I made. So I take the card, and I draw it. I already did one for today. I got Ing, which is for me or Ing Waz, which is the rune for the hero, and also kind of completion, like you saved everybody and you're riding off into the sunset. I've drawn that a few times lately, so I don't really need to write about it a whole bunch. But every time I write about it, I get another interesting idea that I didn't have before. But today I got the Glory of Spades. That's it. My cards that I made are not super fancy. They're just poker cards that I painted over. See, just poker cards. Get them for like a deck for $1 at Walmart. Maybe even less. And then I painted the symbols on them. Glory, which here you can see glory is like a bunch of lines pointing out in a bunch of different directions. There's two symbols that look like this. There's glories, and then legions are like this way. So what a glory is glories and legions are queens and kings. I just changed it because I didn't really want gender to be a super focused central thing in the imagery of my deck and my art, so that people who might want to use it, I mean, for right now, I'm the only one who uses it, but I'm trying to create like a system that I can maybe share with other people at some point, and I don't really want gender to be a part of the art so that people can kind of like overlay their own thing over it depending on how they identify or like where they are, so they're not just seeing like men and women everywhere as like these pinnacles of personalities and gender and stuff like that. I mean, this has been talked about like on the internet everywhere, so I'm not really gonna like reinvent the wheel on this channel for you, but anyway, so for me, glory and legions are kind of two ends and beginnings of the same like structure. So when you get to the court cards, you for normal tarot or for deck of cards or whatever, you have the jack, the knight, the king, and the queen. So I changed that to I kept jack because why not? Just GAC could be anybody. I might change that eventually. So Jack, Pride, Legion, and Glory. So the way that those interact with each other is that Jack and Pride are basically like they are the sort of introducing of an idea. So like, or the introduction of an idea. or energy that's like a little bit more advanced than like previous suit cards, like 1 through 10. So Jack is like the creation of the idea, and Pride is like the forward movement, usefulness, or implementation of the idea. And then when you go to Legion and Glory are both kind of the next step up from that. That usually has to do with some kind of group dynamic or authority. So a Glory is sort of like the taking that idea to the next level, on a wider scale with a group of people. And then Legion is the execution of that idea with the group of people. So like an easy way to remember that for me is Glory is where the idea comes from, and then Glory gives that idea to the Legion, who carries it out. So this is a Glory of Spades, and Spades is kind of my wands for tarot. It's creative energy and like more forward motion. It's fire. It's like a fueling furnace kind of thing. A lot of times, like if you follow my blog, anytime that wands or fire comes up, I'll use the word furnace 500 million times because I'm predictable, and my writing ends up being the same a lot. But it's also just, I think it's a word that really fits well with the energy of what the card is trying to say, or what I might be trying to say through the card. Furnace is like you're fueling this energy that is going to move you somewhere or accomplish something. So the Glory of Spades might be about like coming up with ideas that are useful for creative endeavors in groups, but like still formulating what those ideas are. It's like kind of this raw, like chaos, like pure energy kind of thing, before it moves on to the Legion, which is sort of you take that raw energy and you refine it into a way that like can be used, like in interactions and implemented in different plans, and just being creative with other people. So like where this card would pop up would be with, usually, I mean, it can be, I actually think that single card draws are a lot harder to do than multiple card draws, because like if you drew this with like some card that was about like Issa in my deck is like sitting still and reflecting, so it's like if you drew these at the same time, then it would be like, you have this idea, maybe refine it a little bit more before you bring it to other people, or there's a bunch of different ways that you could talk about it. I've actually already drawn this card for my daily pull, so I'm just gonna put it back, because I don't feel a great need to write about it again right now because I'm making a video. So I do that, and I do yoga. There's a really good yoga channel that my husband showed me. Apparently all of my recommendations come from Cal. I guess that's why we got married, right? And it's this person, Leslie Fightmaster, is a yoga instructor and has this thing called 30 Days of Beginner Yoga, and it's literally just 15 minutes. And a lot of times I'll just stop doing it in the middle and just like sit there and do nothing until something comes along that I want to do. I'm really lazy with yoga, but that's good for me, because it's intense. Yoga is intense. It takes building up to, and if I take a few days off, then I'll just start at day one. It's like 30 days in a row of doing it. So like I try to do it like in a row, and if I get through 7 days, then I'm at 7 day. But if I take a couple days off, I'll go back to day 1 so I can start over, and that kind of keeps me grounded and lets me know where I'm at. Like if I ever get to like day 20 and I'm like, whoa, I did 20 days in a row, that's awesome, instead of like slowly getting to day 30 and be like, cool, I got to day 30, but it took me like a year, which is fine if that's what you want to do, but that doesn't work for me. So I do that a lot of the time. And then recently I started to get involved with it's my first time being a moderator on a blog. There was this call out on this blog that has to do with like magical symbols and like spellcrafty witchy stuff. And I was like, why not? Like I can draw. I do this. I draw symbols all day. So I'm not gonna tell you where it is because I'm kind of enjoying right now, like nobody knows that I'm on this thing that like knows who I am right now. Like it's kind of like this secret cool side thing that I'm doing that I can just do, and I don't have to like, it doesn't intersect with the life that I've built so far, which is nice to have that separation. I don't think I've ever had like a separated thing like that. Everything's always been very connected, and it's nice to have like different segments. I felt this way also like when I first started working in the kitchen, and I started working there. I didn't tell anybody I played music for the first 2 or 3 months. That was amazing. I was like, whoa, like I'm interacting with people and they have no idea what I do. And also like, I don't know, it's just a very different kind of relationship. So this is cool to have this thing that's totally separate that I can like work on these projects. But kind of what I do is people submit to this blog that they want a thing, like a magical symbol made for them that will help them with some issue that they're dealing with. And then there's 6 of us on the blog, and we all just like go down and choose which ones we want to do. So I will, like I'll make a little list that is just like, these are the ones I want to do. And then I just draw them. Like this is one, and this is one. It's cool. It's this practice where what you do is you write down like your intent of what you want. And I have a pen. Good enough. No, that's not going to show up. This will. Okay. So say you write down like, I am awesome. I'm awesome. So you write that down. I am awesome. It's reversed right now in the camera. I don't know if it will be on YouTube, so that's interesting. I didn't know that. Although I guess it's so weird the way cameras work. So what you do is you have I am awesome, and then you cross out all of the vowels. And then you cross out the repeating letters. And that gives you IWS. It might be reversed. So then what you do is it's really simple. You just take the letters and you make it into a little symbol that's like artsy in some way. See, this is the symbol. IWS, the I is like right there, and there's the S, and there's some W's. So that symbol means I am awesome. And I'm not going to use that because I'm not ready. But that's just like how you make those symbols. They're just simple little things, and the point of it is that you are like making the symbol that means this thing, and then you eventually like kind of forget what it means, and you just have this symbol, but like the back of your head knows what it means, and there's some weird psychology thing. I don't know. Like, I don't really know how the psychological part of it works, but like it works for me. It's like the other video where I talked about burning $1. You do weird stuff and then you feel good. But that's what I do in the morning. I just draw a card, do yoga, do a couple of these symbols, and then I go off and do the rest of my day. That's it. And hope you have a wonderful day.